잘 들리는 것 같은데.
Welcome to Chanel Story Friends. In this video, I will discuss a new film from Netflix, called Young-E, released in 2023, and this film comes from South Korea, tells the story of a child trying to make AI, or robot human, using his mother's brain. Whether the research was successfully completed, let's watch the video. As usual, prepare snacks and sit in the most comfortable place. Enjoy watching. In 2194, the Earth is described as a place that is no longer habitable by humans. As a result of this, humans are forced to live in a shelter made in outer space. The strength of human determination to survive makes them compete with each other, between one shelter, with other shelters, so that an alliance called the Republic of Adrian was created, which was created to fight humanity. Humans outside the Republic of Adrian finally tried to fight them, in order to stop the hostilities that had occurred. The scene then switched, showing a military captain, named Young-E, who led the battle against the troops from the Republic of Adrian. He who was still left at that time had to face so many robots, which were equipped with sophisticated weapons. This mission was indeed very difficult and dangerous, so Captain Yoon failed in the battle. It turns out that what we just saw is a simulation carried out by an AI robot, which is shaped like Captain Yoon. Captain Yoon has been dying for decades, but his extraordinary abilities made researchers interested in using his brain and bringing him back to life. Finally created a laboratory called Chronoid, which is devoted to creating AI or artificial intelligence robots. As a biological weapon, they have an AI creation project called Young-E, according to the last name of Captain Yoon. The leader of this research itself is Captain Yoon's daughter, named Sohun, where he has a strong determination to revive his mother, in the hope that Captain Yoon can return to duty, to lead the battle against the Republic of Adrian. Even though so far the project has not shown any improvement, but Sohun tries to convince the leaders that the project it will definitely work. After the presentation is over, Soo-hyun and the others are back to testing on Captain Yoon's robot. If it is outside the simulation, the robot can indeed feel pain like a normal human, but all feelings sent to its brain can be regulated by Sohyun through the technology that he has developed. Unfortunately, after 17 attempts, they still can't find the right settings to control the robot. A member of the Sohyun team named Jack Kyung revealed that he was a fan of Captain Yoon since childhood. Heard Sohyun also told that his mother was forced to work as a mercenary because her mother had to pay for Soo-hyun's treatment due to a tumor in her lungs, until finally on the last day, Soo-hyun underwent surgery, which coincided with her mother's last day on the battlefield. Her mother even couldn't accompany Sohyun at that time, but he promised he would meet her soon after the mission was over. Because of that, Soo-hyun always felt guilty for her mother, because she thought it was all her fault. Soo-hyun started to suspect, did her mother hate her because of that or not? Jack, who heard it, suggested that Sohyun ask his mother about it directly. After the simulation was over, Soo-hyun then went to see a doctor to undergo a medical test. After a thorough examination, the doctor said that the tumor in Soo-hyun's lungs had now reappeared and had begun to spread throughout her body. The doctor even estimated that Soo-hyun would only survive for 3 months. Hearing this, Soo-hyun felt a little annoyed. If knew all of this would happen, then it's better he never had surgery in the first place. The doctor then suggested to Soo-hyun to do brain replication and transfer it to a robot body, so Sohyun can still feel life. Even though using a robot body, there are several types of brain transfer, namely types A, B, and C, and it all depends on the costs incurred. If type A, the patient's brain will be transferred to a robot body and get the same human rights as humans. Type B, the patient's brain will still get human rights, but not complete. And the last is type C, where the patient's brain will be moved for free, but the company has the right to create anything with that brain. It's the same as what happened to Captain Yoon. Humans are free to use their brains in research or any creation, It turns out that the doctor who had been examining Soyeon was not a human, but a robot, equipped with a doctor's brain. Before going home, Soyeon took the time to visit his mother's body, which at that time seemed to be getting old. The next day, Captain Yoon's simulation experiment was carried out again. This time, the simulation was attended by the head of the research institute, named Sang-hyun, because he felt that this simulation always ended the same. Sang-hyun then decides to shoot Captain Yoon in the leg at the start of the simulation, to see if there will be a different outcome. Unexpectedly, it makes one area of Captain Yoon's brain become active, where the area had never been active before. Sang-hyun even think that it is a good sign, because they finally get a different result. With that result, Sang-hyun, Soo-hyun, and the others went to the Chronoid headquarters to report it to their leader. Unfortunately, that day the leader was unable to attend, so they were asked to report it to the director of product development, named Lee Se-yeon. From that meeting, the director of product development said that Chronoid company will limit the development of biological weapons, which means that Captain Yoon's AI development that they have been doing will soon be stopped. Finally, Sang-hyun and Soo-hyun meet the leadership directly to ensure that information. Unexpectedly, Sang-hyun turns out to be one of the AI robots, which was developed directly by the leader, using his own brain. That's why Sang-hyun has intelligence and humor, the same as that of the leader. He is used as the right hand, which can be controlled as he pleases. After that, the leader conveys to Soyeon that their company will stop all development of biological weapons, because the war will end soon. They plan to start creating robots, which can do homework. That's why the leadership also asked Soo-hyun to immediately complete the development of Captain Yoon's robot. Annoyed with that decision, Soo-hyun began to do everything possible to complete the development of Captain Yoon's robot. Soo-hyun even dared to cut the robot's body parts, so that Captain Yoon could give a different response, like the previous simulation. What Soo-hyun did of course made Sang-hyun feel angry, even though it was only robot body, but his mother still feels the same pain. Luckily, before Sang-hyun could do crazier things, an officer called him and said that the leadership wanted to meet immediately. Soo-hyun then checked all the development data of Captain Yoon, and saw some data transfer what was done by Jack Young. Unexpectedly, Jack did the data transfer to develop Captain Yoon's robot into a sexy robot. That's what made Soo-hyun even more angry, but Jack said that it was an order from his boss, because the Type C robot was already getting approval to be developed into whatever the company wants. Because of that, Baekhyun finally took action to save his mother. When turning on the robot Captain Yoon, Soyeon conveyed several things to him, until finally their conversation reached an unknown brain area. It turned out that the brain area would be active when Captain Yoon remembered about his son, namely Soyeon. Captain Yoon then asked how the results of his daughter's surgery, whether the operation went well or not, because so far that's what always bothered him. While crying, Soo-hyun also said that her daughter's operation went well. Captain Yoon then said that her last mission failed, because she lost the doll her daughter gave her. She felt guilty because he couldn't take care of the doll properly. In the end, Soo-hyun's crying got even bigger. She could no longer hold back the tears that she had been holding back. After that, Soo-hyun swore that she would save her mother no matter what. In the last simulation, Soo-hyun guided her mother to follow all his orders. Soyeon's plan was to bring his mother out of the laboratory, so that his mother could enjoy life freely. Sang-hyun, who saw the simulation results, realized something was strange. He called the police to surround the laboratory, and arrested Soo-hyun and her mother. According plan, Captain Yoon beat all the guard robots who tried to catch him. Because of that, Soo-hyun managed to deceive the police by swapping her mother's brain into the body of a guard robot. After entering the train that will take them away, Soo-hyun and her mother are suddenly detained by Sang-hyun. Sang-hyun quickly shoots Soo-hyun, which causes a fight between Sang-hyun and Captain Yoon to occur. As a result of the fight, one of Sang-hyun's eyes is damaged.
Sakit sa...
Apart from fighting the Sangyeon, Captain Yoon must also try to protect his daughter from the attacks of the police. Until finally, after such a long fight, Soo-hyun and her mother finally managed to beat all the police, along with the Sangyeon. Seeing the situation, Soo-hyun also asked her mother to leave immediately. Soo-hyun wanted her mother to be able to enjoy life freely, while Soo-hyun herself would stay there, to obstructed the police, because his life also would not last long, so Soo-hyun didn't mind if he had to sacrifice for his mother. After embracing for the last time, they finally parted ways, and the film was finally over.